Okay, so have you ever really thought about, like, understanding someone, but through, get this, their body parts, or even, like, a tiny piece of a cell?
Yeah, it sounds a little wild, doesn't it? But, that's kind of our thing here.
Totally. We love diving into these unexpected angles, and for this deep dive, that is exactly what we're doing. We've got this really unique set of notes. We're calling them Max Body Parts Research Notes.
Right. These aren't your standard personality tests.
Yeah.
They try to shed light on this figure, this subpersonality Mac, by looking at him through, well, elbows, the stomach, a part of the brain, and even a vacuole.
Elbow, stomach, parietal lobe, vacuole. Quite the mix.
It is. And our mission today is really to unpack these notes. We're digging for those surprising bits, both scientific and symbolic.
Kind of a shortcut, maybe, to getting a different view on personality, using Mac as our case study.
Exactly. Forget the dense textbooks for a second. We want those aha moments,
Wow.
connecting biology to how we act, how we feel.
Get ready, because honestly, this might change how you think about, well, even your own elbow.
Let's start right there then. The elbow. Often just there, right? But it's so vital.
The notes call it an unsung hero joint. Symbolically, it's like a transition point, linking things.
Precisely. It's where force meets finesse. It doesn't throw the punch itself, but it lets the punch land. It's the connector.
And the science behind it is pretty cool, too. It lets your forearm bend and straighten flexion, extension, for basically everything, right? Lifting, pushing.
Absolutely everything. Moving, pulling. It's a hinge, yeah, but it also allows for some rotation, some twisting. It's more complex than just a simple bend. Key for dexterity, key for strength.
Okay, so what's making it work? Bones, muscles?
You've got the humerus in the upper arm connecting to the radius and ulna in the forearm. That's the joint. Then muscles like biceps and triceps provide the power.
Ah, okay. And the funny bone, that's part of it, too.
Oh, yeah, that's the ulnar nerve running near the surface. Whack at it just right, and you get that weird electric tingle. Your body's a little reminder of its wiring.
Huh. Yeah, we've all been there. And the notes mention symmetry.
Right, you have two generally working the same. No dominant elbow, biologically speaking, unlike hands. It's about balance.
And it formed super early in development.
Yeah, in the fetus, around week 6 to 8, it's already taking shape. Evolutionarily, it's tied to primates swinging through trees, brachiation, and then, refining tool use. For us, it's eating, grooming, throwing, precision.
But it takes a beating, too, right? Tennis elbow, bursitis.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's a hard-working joint. And things like cubital tunnel syndrome, affecting that ulnar nerve, show how complex it is.
And there's a brain connection. Proprioception.
Yes. That's your brain knowing where your arm is without looking. The elbow sends tons of signals for that. And that sense, it connects to the parietal lobe, which we'll get to later. Hint, him.
Okay, got the science. Now, the symbolic side, the notes say it represents space, effort, assertiveness.
Yeah, think about putting some elbow grease into it. That's real effort, deliberate action. Or in dance, martial arts, it's strength, control, direction.
And the phrase is elbow room for freedom.
Rubbing elbows for networking.
Grease your elbows for hard work.
And elbowing your way in, taking space. It's all about action and interaction.
It's true, and aesthetically, they're kind of overlooked, but they show wear and tear, maybe symbolizing those in-between spots. Not quite hidden, not quite on display.
Exactly. And think about dynamic movements. Hip-hop, voguing, martial arts, the elbow leads, directs power, changes flow. It's crucial.
Even the elbow bump became a thing, right? A modern ritual.
Totally. Respect, safety. And fashion uses them too. Elbow patches for that scholarly look, or protective gear showing vulnerability or toughness.
So how does all this map onto Mac? The notes call him the hinge in the room. What does that mean?
It means he connects different groups, shifts the mood, subtly redirects a conversation. He's the pivot point.
Flexible under pressure, like the joint.
Yes. But also, if he locks up, gets stressed, shuts down the whole social dynamic and kind of jam, just like a stiff elbow stops movement.
And his humor has elbow energy.
Yeah, it's described as a quick jab. Smart, subtle, unexpected. Not a big, obvious swing, but precise. Hits just right.
Wow, okay. So Mac is the elbow. Connector, mover, making things flow smoothly.
That's the core idea, even when things get tough.
All right, so if elbows are about connecting and moving outwardly, what about internal processing? That brings us to the stomach.
All right, the notes frame the stomach as the body's main processor, taking stuff in raw information, experiences, not just food, and breaking it down. Symbolically, it's where reaction meets transformation, where you digest life.
Scientifically, it's this muscular J-shaped bag, and it stretches a lot, right? From tiny to holding liters.
Huge variation. 50 milliliters empty up to maybe 4 or 5 liters full. It churns food mechanically and uses strong acids, gastric juices, for chemical breakdown.
But it's not working alone, is it? There's a gut-brain thing happening.
Oh, absolutely. It's heavily influenced by hormones, the endocrine system, and the nervous system, especially the vagus nerve. That gut-brain axis is huge.
So it gets signals from elsewhere
Yeah.
and sends them too, like hunger hormones.
Exactly. It relies on input from the pancreas and liver, too. And it manages feedback loops. Ghrelin says, I'm hungry. Gastrin says, make more acid. It's a whole communication hub.
And evolutionarily, our stomachs are pretty tough for omnivores.
Yeah, adapted for a varied diet. The acid is strong enough to break down proteins and kill a lot of harmful microbes. It's a powerful chemical reactor.
Which also means when it's off, acid reflux, ulcers, gastritis, it really impacts us.
Definitely. It highlights how central it is to just feeling. Well, you can't ignore an upset stomach.
Okay, symbolism: hunger, desire, instinct, gut feeling.
Yes, that's a big one. In mythology, it's often tied to base urges, but also intuition, courage. Having guts means bravery, or sometimes greed, appetite for life.
And the language we use? Butterflies in your stomach. That's anxiety, right?
Totally. Or can you stomach this? Meaning, can you endure it? No stomach for it, lacking courage. It shows the stomach as this deeply emotional, intuitive organ. It feels things.
It absorbs fear, desire, truth, almost literally sometimes.
And it's so tied to body image, isn't it? Flat stomachs, abs. A real sign of pride or insecurity for many people. Culturally linked to fitness, gender ideas, pregnancy, aging.
Plus all the rituals around it: fasting, purging, special diets, hunger strikes.
Right. It's central to how we think about control, consumption, purity.
And in stories,
Yeah.
art, it's used metaphorically a lot.
Definitely. Kafka's Hunger Artist, you mentioned Pixar's disgust being gut-centered. Even anime characters with huge appetites signifying big hearts, like Luffy. It represents inner drives.
So connecting this processing unit to Mac, he feels things deep.
Yeah, the notes say lower chakra deep, and he stews in them. He doesn't react immediately. He processes internally first, like digesting something tough.
So his humor is part of that digestion.
Kind of. Described as the burp after swallowing hard truths. It's his way of releasing pressure, making sense of heavy stuff he's taken in.
And he has good instincts about people. A gut-level read.
That's what the notes suggest. He reads the vibe, senses things without needing all the facts. A very visceral way of understanding people.
Mac is the stomach, absorbing chaos, breaking it down, serving it back with spice. I like that.
It fits, right? Okay, so from the gut, let's travel up to the brain, the parietal lobe.
The body's GPS, the notes call it: spatial awareness, touch, putting sensory info together.
Exactly. Its main job is sensory integration. Processing touch, temperature, pain, but crucially, spatial awareness, knowing where you are. Proprioception's a big part of that.
Knowing where your limbs are without looking.
That's it. It's also key for handling objects, math, visual spatial tasks, directing your attention. It's less about raw emotion or memory, more about sensing and mapping your reality.
And where is it located?
Upper middle part of the brain, in the cerebral cortex. And interestingly, while it looks symmetrical, the two sides have different specialties. Left often does language, calculation. Right handles more spatial, visual attention.
So structure is similar, function is different side to side. Does it talk to other brain parts?
Constantly. With the occipital lobe for vision, frontal for movement control, temporal for language. It's part of big networks, like the default mode network, your internal thoughts and attention networks. It integrates everything.
And it develops as we grow. Makes sense for coordination, right?
Yeah, matures through childhood and adolescence.
Yeah.
Helps with coordination, math skills, navigating space. And it was decent plasticity, can adapt. Think stroke recovery or blind people reading Braille using touch the parietal lobe rewires.
What happens if it's damaged?
Significant issues. Hemispatial neglect, ignoring one whole side of the world. Gerstmann syndrome, trouble with writing, math, left-right. Apraxia, difficulty with planned movements. It's also linked to ADHD, autism, dyscalculia, issues with body perception, orientation.
Wow. So psychologically, it's the mapper, the architect, grounded, strategic.
That's the archetype, symbolizing order, awareness, spatial insight. It helps you feel your physical boundaries, where you begin and end. So it relates to setting boundaries, feeling comfortable in your own skin, even your typical gestures.
It feels like a quieter intelligence compared to, say, the emotional centers.
Definitely an unsung intelligence. Behind-the-scenes brilliance, the analogies are great. The sound engineer making music feel right, the choreographer translating feeling into physical space, the artist managing composition and balance.
Making the whole thing work without being the main focus.
Precisely. And philosophically, it grounds you. You exist here, now, in this body, in this space. It makes you question perception versus reality. Is my hand there because I feel it, or do I feel it because it's there?
Deep. Okay, Mac. How does Mac fit the parietal lobe, the sensory sports nerd sweet spot?
Yeah. Someone who feels the game, the court, has that intuition for timing, position, orientation. It's not just thinking, it's sensing the space.
So he maps space and people too.
That's the parallel. He maps out people too, where they stand, who's drifting, who needs a pass. He's tracking the social layout.
Aware of the room's vibe, not just the words being said.
Exactly. In touch with the whole spatial, social, emotional configuration.
Oh. Mac's mind is mapped like the parietal lobe, always locating himself and others. Grounded dreamer. That's powerful.
It really is. Okay, ready for the most unexpected one.
The vacuole. Seriously, a part of a cell, how does that relate?
I know, it's abstract. But think of it as the cell's storage unit. Symbolically, it's the quiet holder of pressure. Stores water, nutrients, but also toxins, waste. Things that the cell needs to contain, manage, maybe release later. A secret vault.
Okay, so scientifically, its job is storage and pressure maintenance, like in plants.
Exactly. Storage is key water, ions, enzymes, waste. It maintains turgor pressure in plants, keeping them rigid, and it isolates harmful stuff.
Yeah.
Basically a cellular warehouse and regulation center.
And it looks different in plants versus animals.
Yeah, plants usually have one large central vacuole. Animal cells often have several smaller ones, maybe more specialized for transport or temporary storage. It's enclosed by a membrane, holding that cell sap.
Does it interact with other cell parts?
Oh yeah. Cytoplasm, lysosomes for breaking things down, the ER network, the cell membrane for import-export. It's involved in water balance, osmoregulation, detoxification, even recycling old cell components.
And evolutionarily, when did the storage unit appear?
With more complex eukaryotic cells, super important in plants, fungi, protists. Plants might store defense chemicals there. Animal cell vacuoles are maybe more dynamic. Malfunctions can cause issues like water imbalance in plants or toxin buildup. Related issues pop up in human lysosomal storage diseases.
Okay, the leap to symbolism, containment, emotional storage, memory hoarding, unprocessed stuff.
That's the heart of it. It represents holding things in tears, anger, secrets, nourishment, but also the ability to hold things, to regulate, compartmentalize, detoxify before releasing.
So psychologically, it's like boundaries. What you keep in, what you let out, resilience.
Perfectly put. Resilience, holding on to difficult stuff until you can process it safely, carrying burdens, nostalgia, secrets, like an emotional closet or a pressure cooker.
Creative parallels, like a deep bass line holding the music together.
Love that. Or the stillness and dance before a big move. Visually, maybe a bottle half full, a vault. In stories, it could be the archivist, the healer who absorbs pain, the janitor cleaning up messes quietly, Pandora's box, maybe.
A secret keeper, carrying potential or danger.
And philosophically, it just reflects that truth, we all carry unseen things, baggage, hopes, grief. Containment is powerful, release is necessary, even empty space has meaning.
Wow. Okay, Mac, his emotional storage unit, how does that play out?
The notes point to his need to always seem on or using humor when he's actually hurting. That's described as vacuole vibes, containing the real pressure underneath.
So he holds things. For himself and maybe for others too?
Yeah, holds unspoken things. Might joke or deflect, but underneath he's carrying a lot. It's a protective mechanism.
And the release is controlled. Doesn't leak unless you're close, only drop by drop.
Exactly. It's not an uncontrolled outburst. It's measured, only happening when it feels safe, maybe only with trusted people.
Mac is a vacuole with a smile, a vessel full of the unsaid. That's
Yeah.
quite an image.
It really paints a picture, doesn't it? So bringing it all together. The elbow is the connector, smooth operator. The stomach is the deep processor, the gut instinct. The parietal lobe is the spatial mapper, aware and grounded. And the vacuole as the emotional reservoir, the secret keeper.
Each part really does give us a different facet of Mac. The connector, the processor, the mapper, the container.
And this whole exercise, this deep dive, it just shows these incredible links, right? Between our physical selves down to the cellular level and our inner worlds, our personalities.
It gives you a totally different lens, not just for thinking about Mac, but for noticing the subtle signals in anyone, yourself included, the hidden depth.
Absolutely. So maybe the thought to leave you with is this. What other parts of us, things we think are just mundane biology, might hold symbolic keys?
What unexpected body parts, literal or metaphorical, might reveal something hidden about you or the people around you? Something to ponder?